And this is Rohan, and considering the special day I'm uploading this video on, I think it only makes sense that, I go back to Gran Turismo 4. But yeah, this is a modded version of the game this time. They're playing Spec II. This is what the randomizer mod basically became. It became its own beast, basically. Oh yeah, we're not doing the randomized mode today because it does, have a lot of other changes. There's actually quite a lot, but yeah, not all of it's going to be relevant. There's an event synthesizer with the international beelines saw. Endurance is only 20%. Extreme events, you can enter if you have the IB license, I believe. So yeah, again, there's quite a lot of differences actually. And then game-wise, there's also going to be a lot of differences. But anyway, let's go buy a used car. I have something in mind for this. These have also been remixed a little bit too, so yeah. But yeah, one car that really stood out to me was this, the S14 Sylvia Case. It's quite expensive, but yeah, this is definitely one of the more powerful prize cars you could get at this point, so yeah, why not? It probably doesn't need any upgrades for Sunday Cup, so yeah, so go with that. And yeah, all it really needs is an oil change, so let's do that. So another thing I did too was that I also had the HD UI mod as well. So yeah, this is just basically where I'm gonna do all the mods as well. I think that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, game looks great now. So yeah, there's also a reach extra mod too that I'm also thinking about too. I just need to figure out how I'm gonna make it work. So yeah, so I go oil change done. Let's see if I can handle this in Sunday Cup because yeah, it's going to be on road tires. Another difference of this mod as well, because most road cars start with road tires and not sport tires. So yeah, let's give this a go. We're going to start with Sunday Cup, which actually has a restriction. The car needs to have a maximum base price of 30,000 credits. So yeah, let's go in. And yeah, I can check the typical opponents and look at them. Yeah, this is a lot stronger than them. Just that, can I keep this on the road is the main thing. So yeah, let's go to Autumn Ring. And yeah, while I'm doing this too, yeah, I want to talk about, some other things too. So yeah. And before we do get any, check something important in the settings. In the options. There's a couple of new options here too, but for sound, I want to make sure that, race music and replay music are off because it's copyright. So yeah, can't have that. So I was also thinking about my own music list anyway, so yeah, during the races and stuff, so it's fine. Anyway, so on road tires, one thing I want to try and do, I'm going to see if I can do this at 1. I can definitely see that being a problem, but hey. Yeah, let's get this a go, shall we? So yeah, let's get racing. But yeah, other than, a lot of these changes, yeah, this is still, the great game that it always has been. It still drives well, still looks great for the time, and yeah, it's a very important game for me. Like I kind of said before, this is definitely one of those games that, got me into gaming in the first place. Made me realize that, yeah, I really liked, playing games. So yeah. So yeah, let's get this a go, shall we? So yeah, that's the interesting thing about it. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, I can definitely tell I don't have much grip. So yeah, I'm probably gonna change to sport tires in a little bit. So yeah, especially if I can't win. So yeah, it's very slidey. But anyway, so that's what I was talking about before. So yeah, and like I said, yeah, this game's very special to me. Like I said, I have a lot of nostalgia for playing it when I was a very young kid. So yeah. So again, quite an important game for me because of that. And then yeah, it also kind of, cemented my interest in racing games, and yeah, that would never really go away too, because I always, had the desire to, I always had that, nostalgic desire to go back and play more racing games or even try new ones now as well. So yeah. So there's that as well. So yeah. So yeah, again, this game's quite important for my love of the genre, I must admit. Of course, there's definitely other games too, like there's definitely other games too, like you know, Burnout, for example, Need for Speed as well. But yeah, I don't think this is, you know, top of the pile. And of course, yeah, I would move away from racing games, play other kinds of games. But you know, this game was, you know, still, you know, on the back of my mind, especially because yeah, when I started, you know, watching, you know, other racing game YouTubers play it, and then yeah, there was always that desire to go back and try to play it myself. So yeah. Anyway, there we go. We won that, not too badly, but again, yeah, this is a very with the road ties, it's very subsidey. So yeah, it feels like they're on sports. So yeah, there's that. How much are we gonna get? Yet actually 3,000. That's a lot. So I can definitely add some upgrades to this for FR. So that's good to know. All right, so yeah. I think another thing that, you know, makes this game very special to me is just how timeless it is. People still want to keep this game relevant because, you know, through mods and stuff like that. So yeah, people still want, you know, this game to, you know, stay relevant for the end of time. So yeah, and again, it is kind of a timeless game too. It kind of is a showcase of what racing games used to be like. So yeah. Because the racing games nowadays are a lot different. So yeah, again, progression isn't as important to them now. So yeah, this game kind of shows that yeah, it still can be if done correctly. So yeah, and yeah, again, it just goes to show that you know, Gran Turismo is just you know so good at what it does as well. I think as well. So yeah, as you know, not only you know a racing game, also you know as a showcase of real life cars as well. So yeah. Yeah, definitely, you know, fell in love with a lot of cars because of Gran Turismo as well. So yeah. Of course, I think what, you know, put this game as my favorite game is that, yeah, I did that 100% playthrough. And it, you know, pushed me to levels that, you know, I wouldn't think otherwise with other kinds of games. So then it kind of clicked me that, yeah, I probably like Gran Turismo 4 a lot more than other kinds of games. So yeah, that's probably why it has to be my favorite. So yeah. Because again, no other game would, you know, push me to do, you know, get all goals, those license tests, do all the insurance events, do all the mission events. So yeah. And again, it's something I would like to, you know, do again. Weirdly enough. Like, I don't have much to prove now because I've already done it. But of course, I could try doing it on Spec II if I want to, you know, do a play from this channel, maybe talking more about why I like this game so much. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, most people know that I adore this game so much. It is my favorite game of all time. So yeah, it's like I wanted to talk about, you know, the racing game genre a little bit too in this part as well, which I think I'll do. Again, yeah, quite important as well. Like yeah, the games I played in my childhood were racing games, just because it's gonna be tight. It never feels like yeah, this car's on a knife edge, so need to be careful. Anyway, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm gonna get the softs for sports tires. I mean, for I'm gonna get the sports tires for what's coming up. So yeah, the FR. Anyway, so that's yeah. Again, like I said, I played mostly racing games when I was a child. Actually, quite a large variety. Like yeah, I wasn't just playing the realistic racing games like Gran Turismo. I was also playing some kart races, some arcade races like Burnout as well, and Need for Speed. So yeah. So again, it's just that I like racing, and I still kind of do today. So yeah, that's why I still want to keep trying racing, and especially if they fulfill niches for me. Like again, I think the reason why, you know, I focus on single player games so much and single player racing games, so definitely has something to do with, you know, all the RPGs I played and Gran Turismo 4. So yeah. Again, you know, having that meaningful progression means a lot to me, so yeah. That's another reason. So there we go. That's another one down. Only one more to go. No 5 races this time, like I said before, so yeah. That definitely helps quite a bit, so yeah. Game through the game a little bit more quicker, although yeah, the thing is that, yeah, in its place though are actually new events. So yeah, like I said, it kind of makes so that it makes things a little bit more interesting. Potentially, it's like yeah, you're doing more variety of events, you're trying more variety of cars. So yeah, so I can only see how people like that. Let's do Clubman Stage Route 5 to end this. This will look pretty cool in a replay too, with the MLS things. So yeah. But anyway, let's give this a go. This will be a rolling start though, so I need to be careful. And that means we're going to be far behind our opponents, so yeah. But anyway, so yeah, that's what I was talking about before, so yeah. And like I said, yeah. Well, I think another thing too about racing is I actually feel more comfortable talking about racing games, my opinions of them, because I feel like, you know, I have just so far under my belt. I play a lot of other racing games too. I kind of have a feel for what, you know, they're like, I guess you could say. With RPGs, it feels a bit more different because there's other things you consider too. That I'm a little bit less confident from that. Like, yeah, I still have a lot of experience, you know, but, you know, I know that, you know, sometimes I'll say something, it probably pisses someone off and I feel bad about it. And I feel like it's because of, you know, maybe I have a lack of experience. I feel like with racing games, it's a little bit different than that. I like all racing games, basically. So, yeah, as long as they drive decently well. So, yeah. So, I can always see, you know, the good in them, I guess. And RPGs, not always. And I feel kind of bad about that sometimes. So, yeah. Especially when I was younger as well. When I was around, you know, a teenager, I guess you'd say. So, or a young adult, I guess you could say. So, yeah. Anyway, so back to what I was talking about, yeah. Again, I feel, more confident when talking about racing games because, again, I don't have a plot to worry about too, because I feel like that's also something I'm not the strongest at either, so, yeah. Talking about those. Again, I still, you know, lack a little bit of experience in that regard, so yeah. Nice hit there. On the road tires once again, that's okay. So yeah, what else does this say? Again, yeah, that's probably one thing. Again, yeah, like I said, yeah, I'm willing to, you know, with me, you know, willing to try more games. I think that's also helped me with racing games too, like, yeah. I wouldn't try it out Screamer if I wasn't confident in, you know, trying new games as well. So, I mean, that's another thing as well. So, yeah. And there's also, you know, the other part of, yeah, you know, I'm familiar with racing games, so, you know, I'll, you know, keep playing them. So, I'll keep playing them for the most part. So, yeah. I mean, that's another thing too. And, yeah, I hope that also, you know, playing a lot of racing games also, you know, makes so that when I play more RPGs, I, you know, tried to see more positives in them as well. Maybe not being too cynical as well. So yeah. Again, that's something I feared I was like when talking about certain games. So yeah. Maybe beat Sunday Cup. I actually don't know what that prize car is, so that'll be fun to find out. So yeah. So yeah, I guess we'll find out. Also, I guess I'll show the replay here as well. Because again, it's a night track, it'll look pretty cool. So yeah. And as for Spec II as well, like yeah, again, like I said, it's kind of a remix. It's not supposed to replace the original, so and yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it too. Like yeah, there's a lot of cool things they added, like yeah, you know, remixed events, some new events too. They changed the progression a little bit as well. So like yeah, like Gran Turismo World Championship is not in the professional league anymore. It's actually a extreme event now, and yeah, you can get to it with the IC license, I believe, or IP license. Sorry, that's what it was. So yeah, at least I think. So again, that's a change, of course. Used cars have been shuffled around a lot too. There's different car sounds. It also has the randomizer mode, which yeah, a lot of people have been having fun with. Again, I think that's definitely one thing that makes this game replayable as well. Like, you don't have to, you know, 100% it. You can do like a randomizer run, get to Gran Turismo World Championship, and call it a good playthrough. So yeah, I think that's one reason why, you know, people have been, you know, playing this game so much, so yeah. I mean, that's another thing as well, so yeah. That, you know, keeps, you know, bringing people back to this wonderful game, so yeah. What else? Again, I don't agree with, like, all the changes though, like, yeah, the road tires is a bit, I kinda get it, but at the same time, yeah, it can make the cars, like, very difficult to control sometimes, as I'm sure in there, if you're not used to it, so yeah. And they also, you know, add a lot of quality of life too. Like, some things that were a lot harder to access, they're much easier to access now. So yeah. And the other thing is, I'm only trying with one traction control, so yeah, that's probably also not helping. But hey, yeah. And then prize cards are also in reshuffled too. Again, I'm not so sure how to feel about that yet, but I guess we'll find out when we beat something up. So yeah. Again, though, like I said, it doesn't replace the original for me, but it is interesting at least, and it'll be interesting to try 100% it. One day, that's something I wouldn't mind doing, but again, not right now. I've got my fair share of racing games to play at the moment, so yeah, and other games too, so again, this will be something I'll think about later. But again, it's nice that it's, you know, around, and I can, you know, check that whenever, and who knows. Maybe I don't want to commit to 100% playthrough. Maybe I just want to do, you know, some randomizer runs instead. So yeah. Anyway, so beat Sunday Cup. Now it's a cool replay. We got a free code. So now, yeah, let's get a prize. A Honda City Turbo. All right. Not a great car, but hey. I guess it makes sense for Sunday Cup. But anyway, let's do the FR challenge now. But if we're gonna do that, we're gonna need upgrades. So yeah, well, at least to the tires. So let's do that. So yeah, I want those sports sauce now. So there we go. And I think this is a bit pricey, but I think I also want... No, I need the racing this list time. Actually, I'm thinking maybe just I'll go with the racing chip. I wonder if that's enough. I think just in case I'll also get exhaust. That should be good enough. And if I'm still struggling, well, I got turbo upgrade, so yeah, and maybe suspension upgrade. So yeah. Alrighty, let's go back. Let's take on the FR challenge. So yeah, FR cars only stands for tires required, so yeah, let's go. And we got Seattle, Tsukuba, and Laguna Seca, so yeah. What cars are we up against? I think we can handle this. Maybe even without the exhaust upgrade, but again, I want to be a bit careful, I guess, so yeah. But anyway, so yeah. And I'm glad this is a thing too. And yeah, there's actually another mod because people realized how to really, you know, make big changes to this game too. So I'm kind of interested to hear about that. Yeah, 99 point race. Yeah, this could actually be a bit of a challenge. So yeah, let's see. I'll definitely be on my A game for this. So yeah. Let's give it a go. So yeah. I mean, one problem with this Sylvia is because it has a lot of mileage on it. It's not as powerful as it once was, so yeah. Like now though, I mean, it's still a bit slidey, but it's definitely a lot better. Also, I could have, you know, improved the suspension as well. That's something else I could have done, but anyway. You also have a rolling start to deal with in this race too, which is not the best, so yeah. But yeah, it grips the road, which is one good thing now, so yeah. Yeah, even though it's 99 point, I think we can definitely do this. We managed to get through the field quite quickly, so yeah. This RX like there could be a bit of a problem, so yeah. Anyway, so yeah. And like I said, yeah, it does feel like, again, all these mods and stuff that keep coming up with this game definitely, you know, adds to it being, you know, very timeless, which, yeah, that's definitely another reason why I think this game became, you know, one of my favorites as well. Yeah, again, this game, again, for me, yeah, it'll be hard to top it. And then also, yeah, again, even if it does get toppled one day by another game, it's still always gonna, be there, being the timeless game that it is. So yeah. And also, it still has, that impact on my life as well. So that's also another thing too. So yeah. Again, it's definitely important to, treasure those memories of your favorite games. I think that's another important thing too. Like again, even if it is just nostalgia, I think that still could be very important too. Again, if a game, made you feel a different way, or made you see the world in a different way too, or made you see the genre in a different way as well, that could still be very important as well. So, I mean, that's also something important to remember too. So yeah. So again, yeah. Yeah, Gran Turismo, makes me feel a lot of things too. How far I've come as well, Like, yeah, this is basically where my journey started. But I'm still, remember this game too because it's that important. So yeah. So yeah, it's interesting thing about that regard. And again, getting 100%, yeah, definitely one of those, very special moments as well. So yeah. And like I said, it would be so cool to do a playthrough of this game on the channel, but yeah, like I said, I don't think it's possible. And I think what I would do instead, there's like two things I would do instead. One is a randomizer run video, basically. I kind of talked about how that went. When I was doing like, yeah, when the randomizer was new, I did, play through. That was actually the first time I played through Gran Turismo 4 on my return to it. So yeah, and then I kind of just showcased a few things, talked about a few things. So it'd be funny to I was thinking to figure out how Spec II differs to the original, because again, I need to figure out how do you get to Gran Turismo World Championship here. And I think it is actually no, I don't remember if it is the same as base game. I think it just needs the IC license. So yeah. So then it's all about, just doing as many events as you can before, you get the LMP and beat it, so yeah. So there's that. That's one idea, and also another idea is, yeah, go for the game 100% again, but instead of making a whole video series, so just kind of talk about all the important parts of it, so yeah. I think that's what I would do if I cover this game one day. Who knows if I will or not. But again, it is my favorite game, so who knows? Maybe it will happen. So yeah. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. 99-point race, but he still did pretty good. I still didn't get the GD we're waiting for the plus 3 downforce, but hey. Yeah, so that definitely breaks the game a little bit when you do that. So yeah. I'm seeing if I do need it. But anyway, another 3k. That does mean we don't make a profit, I think. Actually, no, we do make a profit. So that's good. So I probably can do another event after that too. Either the FF or the lightweight K-Car Cup, so yeah. I don't think the C turbo is a K-Car, so I can't use it for that unfortunately. Sakura, oh yeah. All these are rolling starts, so yeah. I think it's a good thing that I got the exhaust, so yeah. Oh yeah. It's interesting you challenge yourself with a game like this too, I must admit as well. But anyway, let's go back. Only an 88-point race this time, so it's a little bit easier. So let's see how we do. I should mention that, yeah, this is the this is an NTSC version of the game, not the PAL version. So you can run it in 480p and I think 1080i as well. The PAL version doesn't have something like that, I think. So yeah, that's a thing. And also, the PAL version runs at 50 FPS, which actually causes some weirdness, let's just say, with the physics. So yeah, like it's not as it's a bit hard to describe that. Yeah, it's basically not as accurate as it would be on 60 FPS, but still playable. Which that's a thing. It also, I believe, there's also like a few other changes too. Like, I think live sets are easier on NTSC. Like they have the goal time's like slower. But in exchange, like Mission 30 Bullet is even harder on NTSC. That's not something I'm looking forward to. So yeah. palette's quite easy actually. So yeah, as long as you know you have a decent knowledge of the track and you can, handle the car decently well. So yeah. Okay, I'll get past the muck. He does have good straight line speed, but his cornering isn't so great. So yeah. Especially if he's still on, road cars. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention something else too. This one also has improved car sounds. I can appreciate that. They're pretty cool sounding. And also, yeah, the tire and gear sounds a little bit different too. They sound a little bit more like the one Gran Turismo, which is kind of interesting. Again, that thing does give, this mod its own, flair to it, so yeah. That's kind of interesting. So yeah. So yeah, we'll just, keep making our way through here. Again, driving this game is just so fun as well. It never gets old for me as well. That's partly one reason why, go through those 24-hour races. Always able to get through those 24-hour races. Also, having some good streams in the background too definitely helps, so yeah. There's also that. And of course, yeah, this game looks great too. Again, I know I'm using some mods, I'm using emulate upscale, but yeah, this game still looks really good for me as well, so yeah. And still, how this game looks and feels, the menus and the mini music too, yeah, once again, I think that's just another timeless quality of it as well, so yeah. So again, yeah, I always, think about, this is one of those games that makes me very, very happy to experience too, so yeah. And yeah, again, I think it's also interesting, share why, a game is so special as well, because yeah, it's not just the game itself, I feel like as well. It's what the game means as well. That's also important. It's also what I'm trying to convey here as well. So yeah. So yeah, there's also that. So yeah. And yeah, of course, it'll be interesting, here of these experiences too. Yeah, I've already talked about, why some other games are also very special to me as well in all the videos too. The Xenoblade games, obviously, so yeah. Yeah, for this game, I feel like it's a bit more simpler for me because, again, it's a game I'm very nostalgic for. So I think a lot of that has to do with that, and also, yeah, my last playthrough too, so yeah. Also really helped. So yeah. So that's race 2 down, so yeah, 1 more to go. So get the 3K. And yeah, now we're gonna go and take on the last one, which is at Laguna Seca. That will be interesting. Real life track, obviously, so yeah. So yeah, let's give it a go. And the corkscrew will be quite interesting without, suspension upgrade or downforce, so we'll see how that goes. And yeah, SL Firearms staying up front, so that could be interesting. Yeah, 95 point race this time. Yeah, so I got some 300 X in this race too, so yeah, let's see how we go. Yeah, this over there is definitely doing a good job. This is definitely one of the more interesting star cars you can go with. It's still there's a lot of good FRs though, there's also an RX-7 as well. Now you could have gone with the Skyline GTS, which probably would save you a bit of money for upgrades, so yeah. Yeah, again, like I kind of said in a video before, I think it was my turn of Scar, especially again. Progression is, the name of the game for me. And again, like I said, yeah, replayability is also quite important too. I like it when, you can play through a game completely differently on your next playthrough, and still keep playing more about it. Something that's quite important to me, and yeah, Gran Turismo 4 is definitely one of the main reasons why that's the case, and also why I like playing the RPGs like I do. Because again, they all have, so much customization to them, so yeah, I think that's probably because playing racing games, Gran Turismo having its, progression the way it is. So, and also figure out, what do I need to do to solve this problem I have? As well, you want to try and get the most out of each car. Like, for example, one reason to get the Sylvia, if I had the B license, I believe, is to do the Sylvia race. Sylvia 1 make race, like, yeah. I don't know if it needs more upgrades for that, but yeah. Because we have the sports sauce now, but, like, yeah, you know, the game that and try and do as many events as possible. That's, something very fun as well to think about too, so yeah. Anyway, he did make it out front. Yeah, playing high point races, they're not too difficult, so yeah. I think one reason why is because, again, they have more power than I do. But again, they may not have, you know, the handling. So that's probably one reason why. Yeah, they definitely make probably 100 or 200 more breakballs than I do. Like that Merc, for example, so yeah. That's probably one reason why it's giving a lot of A-spec points, so yeah. I was thought about, you know, Gran Turismo having like some of my favorite progression in any game too. Like I don't know if it's hard to say if I'd still agree with that. Like, yeah, it kind of feels a little bit like Elden Ring to me now that I've actually, you know, experienced that. Like, Elden Ring and Gran Turismo are very similar rods actually, so yeah, I think that's one reason why I end up really enjoying Elden Ring. I can't stop thinking about it, so yeah. Especially, you know, doing that fun co-op playthrough with my brother as well, so yeah. Like, yeah, in terms of like open world design, yeah, Gran Turismo is definitely one of my favorites in that regard, so yeah. Even if it's, you know, not, you know, the most traditional game when it comes to open world, but hey. And that's just kind of how I feel about it, so yeah. Like, yeah, it's open-ended, but also, it's an open-ended game, but also, you know, it still has, you know, fun gameplay throughout, so I mean, that's quite important. And a lot of overworld games are probably, though, the traveling not being the most interesting, so yeah. Right? So yeah, that's FR charge down. And I think, yeah, we should have time for one more. I want to make this a little bit longer than I usually do, so yeah. There we go. I don't have a license, so yeah, I need to do another non-license event in the beginner league, so yeah. So that means we need to buy another car. And hopefully 12k is enough to buy another good used car. So yeah, let's get out of there. And we have 12k to work with. Also, yeah, of course the prize car could also help us out too. So yeah, let's not forget about that. What's it gonna be this time? An Honda S800, alright. Maybe that could do like a K car. I'll say the Honda City can. I feel like it can't. I think it's too big, so we'll find out. Yeah, if it can, it's actually quite well stat for it, so yeah. So let's have a look. If not, I'll just buy either an FF or a another K card. Yeah, it's too big, so yeah. Alright, let's check out the used car dealer. Did it update? It has, alright. So yeah. And there's some interesting very old cars here, so yeah. There's some mini Marcos as well. I think that can actually compete, which is interesting, so yeah. Trent Spitfire has a one make. There's the Minica, which is a K car, so I could definitely use that. There's better K cars though. Lotus Carlton, that's an iconic one. The Cappuccino, also quite iconic for this game. Some TVRs as well. Yeah, Cappuccino probably makes a lot of sense for lightweight K car. I actually have one Evo 4 or a WRX, which is pretty cool, so I could do 4-wheel drive instead. There's a wagon. A lot of interesting choices here with my interesting looking budget right now, so yeah. Yeah, I'm very tempted to buy this Evo 4 actually, but then I'll have like no money to upgrade those. So yeah, I think it'll be. It's basically between this cappuccino or this Civic, basically. And yeah, I'm feeling more like the Civic, so yeah, I'm gonna do that. Although it doesn't have to be the Civic. It could also be this FTO, which I think I will actually go with. I'm not sure. It's not the best spec of it though, so yeah, you know what? I am gonna go with the Civic. Dilemmas. Also, they add descriptions for every card too, so that's very cool. Alright, let's buy the Civic. So we need to oil change it, we need to give it the better tires, I'm guessing. And then probably more power, because I feel like the opponents are going to be a bit rough, so yeah. Let's do an oil change. So there you are. And yeah, like I said, yeah, this will definitely need the exhaust, I think. I mean, yeah, I actually don't think I can get both the exhaust and the tires is the problem, so we need to make sure that we probably need to keep buying upgrades in between events, so yeah. So that's something to think about. Yeah, 5k exactly now. This is 4.5k, so there you go. And yeah, I probably can't buy anything else, so... Alright. Again, I think we're underpowered for this, but... Let's see if we can do well. So let's do FF Charge. So you got midfield, Hong Kong, and Suzuka. East. Let's give it a go. Midfield East has a standing start, so yeah. So this will be quite an intense end to this, so yeah. I think. Maybe. Let's see. That's a pretty good combination. Competition, I mean. But it's still 95 points, okay. But I feel like this is going to be more difficult, so I guess we'll find out. Let's go, Little Civic. I always like the EG Civic, I don't know why. It just kind of became one of my favorite front-wheel drive cars. So yeah, well, favorite Civics I should be saying, so yeah. I was using Civic in the TSL too. That kind of reminds me of something I did want to talk about here. Like, yeah, what about future racing games, Like, yeah, there's still a lot of racing games I actually want to play on my own time. Like, yeah, we did get Forza Horizon 6. That's a game I'm very interested in. I don't ever want to play it right away because, again, like I kind of said before, I have enough racing games on my mind at the moment. And I also have Screamer, and I don't want to undercut it, basically. So yeah, I still want to give it its due. I don't want Spotlight to get covered up, basically. I guess you could say, or stolen by playing like Horizon. So yeah, so that's something. But yeah, I'll make another. It's borderline. I don't think we'll make actually a profit. So yeah, yeah, we paid a lot more than 9k, so that's a bit unfortunate. But hey. We'll get some of that money back when we now have the Civic, so yeah. But yeah, probably at this point I would go do the license test. I'd do the one-make events with the Sylvia and the Civic, so yeah. That's probably what I would do. And also, I mean, there's other events too, like Lord Compact as well. The Civic could do, so yeah. The Civic could actually do a decent amount, especially with a lot of upgrades, so yeah. And yeah, again, I think they're still on road tires. And the tires, they don't put into account, so yeah, that's probably why I'm having a easier time. Actually, no, it would, I think. It had to be on road tires, or they're just a lot slower than I am, so yeah. I guess it's also a thing, but anyway. And yeah, I want to play Horizon 6 at some point. That game looks great. A lot of people think it's what I'm looking for, basically. in a racing game, so I wouldn't mind checking that out. Of course, Genki could still, make another racing game as well, or the Kickback and TXR. Either way, I'm pretty happy about that. I still need to play Racing Lagoon, which is the racing game RPG hybrid. That's a game I'm very interested in too. So yeah, and yeah, there's like random PS2 racing games too, and also yeah, I wouldn't mind playing more Need for Speed as well. On maybe with my abandonware. I just need to figure out how that's gonna work basically because I haven't done it before. So yeah. Well, I could just emulate. That's probably the easier way of doing things. So yeah, I get nostalgic. I play like most on the PS2 emulator, like I did back in the day. So yeah, yeah, the PC version is a lot better. So yeah, probably some play that again. And then Midnight Club. I can't forget about that. I really want to play Midnight Club as well because I played it in the past. I know the game a lot better now. I realized that, yeah, again, it's once again up my ante, so yeah. I think that's another thing too. Now that I'm a lot smarter and I know, a lot better about games too, I want to go back and play all those PS2 racing games that I wasn't able to give a fair shot back in the day, so yeah. As I already knew they were good games, just that, yeah, I really want to, experience them now through my modern eyes, basically, with, what I now know, so yeah. Maybe we'll get 3k. So again, we lost like 3k basically. That's okay. Because yeah, we need to both buy the car and I think I need the upgrades, so yeah. I wonder if maybe the F tier could have done without upgrades. That's interesting, but anyway. Oh well, Civic has the one make race, F tier does not, I'm pretty sure, so yeah. I can always use the Beat because the Honda Beat also has a one make race that I think about, so So, an Alpha 166 up front, I'm a bit scared of that. 75-point race though, so probably it's easier than the last one. Anyway, at Hong Kong, this is a very beautiful track. Because, these sunset tracks always, impress me so much. Man, this is a pretty long track too, so we're going to be in for a pretty long race. I think that's why it's probably not too difficult. So because, yeah, I make up places very fast, so yeah. On these opponents through the corners, so yeah. I guess I'm a lot more aggressive in the corners, so yeah. I wonder if I could have done this on road tires lapping, but I don't think so. I think I just wouldn't have the grip. I just understeer everywhere, so yeah. Yeah, without the exhaust and the sport tires, I'm doing just fine. Also, I am on sports soft, so I guess that's another reason why I'm doing quite well. It could be on sports hards for all I know, so yeah. Because the tires like a big difference in crutches, so yeah. That's another thing too. I'll get past the Punto. Now we have the 166 in our sight style, so that's good. So yeah, let's go after him. So yeah, again. Wonderful game, like I keep saying, so yeah. Yeah, I was talking about, other racing games, but I think those are like the most ones, but again, I think, the possibilities are probably endless. It's just that I probably don't have the time to play everything before I'm all said and done, so yeah, so that's something else to consider too. Need to make sure that, I prioritize what's important too, because again, it's not just racing games too, it could also be RPGs that I want to play as well, so yeah. That's something else I need to think about too, so yeah. So yeah, I'll get through here. And again, like I said though, I mean, again, racing games are like my comfort food, I guess you could say. I can always, rely on them to give me a good time as well. And in the case of like Screamer, I can rely on it to be like, a fresh experience for me as well. Something completely different to what else I played as well, so yeah. So there's also that. So yeah. I realized, did I use something like this and I play like Gran Turismo? I feel like I I mean, I did use the EG Circ, I know. I feel like it was in this car, or I might be thinking of Tokyo Series of Drift 2. Like, yeah, there's an opponent that has this colored Civic EG, so yeah. Yeah, I guess, yeah, when there's a race that gave it the EG Civic, I guess I'm driving it, so yeah. Like, I don't know why I'm so enamored by the EG Civic. I think it's because, you know, it's still got good performance. It's not a Civic Type R, it's not the EK9, but it's still good. And yeah, it's a lot cheaper, obviously, in most racing games that appears in than the EK9. So, yeah. So again, if you don't need the EK9 or it's too expensive, then yeah, you could use an EG instead. It won't be as good, but they'll still, you know, put in the work, so yeah. So I think, yeah, that's probably one reason why I'm now buying it so much, and yeah. What do you call it? Oh, one of these in real life? I'm not so sure. It's a bit old, I think, is the problem. It's more an enthusiast car nowadays as well, so yeah. Especially the sportier models, so yeah. Well, I really want just something that will get me from A to B, I guess. It's a bit boring for someone who plays our racing games, but hey. That's just how it is, I guess. I mean, that wasn't too bad. I think our superior handling was the key there, so yeah. Especially with those sports sauce, so yeah. So there's another 3k. One more to go. At Suzuka East. Once again, good timing will be good, and yeah, this is a standing start too, so that'll make things a lot easier, so yeah. So I guess, yeah, this will be our last race, so yeah, let's conclude everything. So yeah, once again, yeah, don't forget about the games that made you who you are. Gran Turismo was one of the best racing games ever made, in my opinion. It also came out in a really good golden era of racing games too, where yeah, it felt like, you know, the genre was hitting all the peaks. So yeah, there's also that. And yeah, again, racing games, yeah, because I've been, you know, playing them so much, I play quite a lot of them, I'm very familiar with them too. I feel like, yeah, I'm, you know, more familiar talking about them as well when compared to RPGs. I fear, you know, with my lack of knowledge when it comes to, you know, storytelling, I wouldn't say gameplay, I feel like I'm kind of good when it comes to that, but yeah, storytelling is still kind of a new thing for me, so yeah, I wouldn't say new, but it's definitely, like, gameplay, I still got more of my life, or thinking about that, I should say. I still got more of my life, but thinking about the plot is kind of what I'm getting at, so yeah. So I feel like, yeah, maybe I am a bit cynical when it comes to certain games I should be saying, but yeah, I want to, you know, change that a little bit. I want to try and be more open-minded, like I am with a lot of racing games, so yeah, is again, I'm actually, again, I want to be a positive person when it comes to talking about games. I want to, you know, show all, you know, the good things they do. But I still want, you know, want to have that critical influence. It's important to, you know, not every game's perfect, obviously, so you obviously want to, shine on that. Like, even, you know, GT4 isn't perfect. Even though, yeah, this mod does try to rectify some of those things. Again, a lot of people didn't like the chase scam, it was way too stiff, which, yeah, I can definitely see that. It takes a lot of time to get used to. But if you play the game a lot, I guess it cuts natural, so yeah. But yeah, this mod has a looser chase cam, which makes it a lot easier to drive in the third person, so yeah. Then of course, yeah, game is a bit underserved, but of course you can, you know, fix that with proper upgrading, so yeah. Again, yeah, and of course, yeah, endurance races, yeah, I can definitely see them being a massive turn-off, but again, you don't have to play them. Unless you want 100%, which again, you don't have to go after, but yeah, it doesn't feel, it feels a bit weird to be done. I think that's another important thing too. I think it's Elden Ring that showed me, but yeah, you don't have to 100% game to be satisfied with it. And yeah, Elden Ring, yeah, that showed that. I think that was a mindset that really ruined me on some games, like Breath of the Wild, for example, so yeah. Like, if I came out to Breath of the Wild with my Elden Ring mindset, I think the game would actually be really good. So, yeah. Like, I thought, the open world is tedious and stuff like that, but yeah, if you're only going off of what you care about, then maybe less so. So, yeah. And yeah, this game, yeah, that can definitely show that too as well. Even though, yeah, I did a randomizer playthrough. The randomizer playthrough showed me that, yeah, I want to figure out how to get to GT World Championship as quickly as possible. I think that was kind of important too. So yeah. Anyway, a little bit on the street there, that's okay. I was probably not taking that corner first, but that's fine. So there we go. But yeah, there's a lot you can, learn about, playing different kinds of games. So I think that's also important too. Like, yeah, I may love my racing games a lot, but of course, there has to be a good balance as well. So yeah. Anyway, I think that's a positive way to start thinking about, another year of my life. So yeah, it's kind of funny how thinking about it like that. So yeah. Anyway, what's going to be our last prize cup today? Anyhow, like I said, yeah, mod's good too. Again, it doesn't replace the original, definitely, but again, it's definitely an interesting remix of the original. So yeah, that's pretty cool. We get a golf, not bad. That's actually a really good price cut, to be honest. So yeah, I could do a couple of events on its own. So yeah. Alright. Yeah, that was actually a new event. I guess I could, share that real quick. But yeah, we got Force in the Shootout, and Super Wagon Series, and 6 in the Shootout. And then in the professional events, we've got Concept Car Club, City Slickers, which makes those C-Tracks, Clubman League, which is for loaded race cars. Raven Sports Lounge is now in the professional league, and now Homologation Heroes. And then, of course, we can't do extreme events. We need an international B license now, and that'll also lead to GT World Championship. Social conditions, they're all now one race instead of two, so you can get through these a lot quicker. But yeah, the ice requirements have been raised a little bit, so that's interesting. And then yeah, there's some different. I think American events are basically the same as they were before. European events has the Grand Tour now, which you need a car up to 979. That's really different. It's also a lot shorter than the 1,000 miles, which it replaces. Everything else, I believe, is the same. And yeah, there's also some new one-make races too, so yeah. But yeah, I won't be showing all those off. And then Japanese events, the main different one here is JDGC GT300, and then there's also JDGC GT500, which takes the All Japan Championship. So yeah, a lot of interesting events. I can't wait to, check them out. And also, the driving missions, this is probably the most infamous thing about this mod. It adds mission 35 to 40. These are unused, I believe. So yeah, they're very difficult chase battles where you're using a slower car and you need to beat your opponent. So yeah, not fun. Doesn't sound like fun, but hey, is what it is. But anyway, with that done, yeah, that was a cool showcase of this mod in a DC long video, and yeah, I look forward to whatever I install next, obviously. So yeah, I'll see you guys again for that.